So we'll start with, we're going to do course descriptions for the Crowsnest Pass 100 races, which consists of 4 different mountain bike races and 3 different gravel race distances, but essentially over 3 courses. So we're going to describe those 3 courses for you, and we're going to add some specifics depending on whether you're doing multiple loops or not to address that. So the 2 race organizers and founders and event directors are recording this. My name is Peter, and I'm joined by Sasha, who's my co-event director and co-founder of the Crowsnest Pass 100. And we want to provide this as a resource for you to prepare and get as dialed in as you possibly can for any of our races. So the first one we're going to start with is a 30-kilometer loop, which is really more of an intermediate ride. It's using mostly blue and green terrain in Crowsnest Pass area. A lot of purpose-built mountain bike trails. Absolutely awesome race course that we've put together. Don't take it lightly. Just because it's our shortest distance doesn't mean that it's an easy ride. It's still a very challenging 30K. There's lots of climbing in it, and there's still technical trails to navigate. But we'll allow Sasha to walk us through the functions of this race course.
All right, so if you head over to our website and head to the maps page, you'll find all the links for all the maps that we have. I'm going to hop into the Trail Forks links so I can describe the courses, but there's downloadable links, and there's also a printable link down at the bottom as well.
And all of this is at crowsnestpass100.com. So it's crowsnestpass100.com.
And we'll hop right into the 30K. And so all of our races start in the same place, all our distances, and they all start at the bottom of the ski hill road at the Bike Skills Park. Lots of parking there for the day as well if you need. Just make sure you park further back where the bathrooms are and the Bike Skills Park is, because we use the front lane as the start line. So lots of people will be lining up there to get ready for their race. So we head through town. This part here is guided by our pace vehicle. So there's a pace truck that will lead us out to this point here. Once we hop on Sartoris Road here, the pace vehicle will leave and the racing can begin. Starts with quite a good climb up the Sartoris Road. This is a backcountry gravel road. And then about halfway, about a third of the way up the climb, 30K and 60K riders will be taking a right here on the Batenger logging road. This is a double track logging road. Fun. There's a couple boardwalks across it as well. And once you're towards the end of the logging road here, you meet up with a junction where you will be crossing through this junction again later in the day. So the first time you ride through it, you're going to ride straight through, and then you take the left onto Big Rocks. Really fun blue climb trail. And this blue climb trail is going to bring you to meet up with the 50K and 100K riders. So they're going to be coming out of York with a Fork right here, and you're going to be meeting them on at the top of Big Rocks here. Then you're going to rejoin all the other riders, and your rest area is just right here on York Creek.
And how far into the route is the rest area for the 30K racers?
It is about a third of the way in. So it's not quite half, but about a third of the way in.
Okay, maybe a little past 10K.
Yeah. So you'll hit your first rest area, and then you're going to be climbing backdoor with all the 50 and 100K riders as well. Now at this junction, the Big Bear backdoor junction, 50K riders and 100K riders will be taking Big Bear. You're going to want to hang a right there and continue up backdoor. Going to continue up backdoor and hop on to Squirrel Shit, which is a really fun downhill. Great trail. And then you're going to connect with the Pineapple Express coming down here, and then the rest of the riders from the 50 and 100K ride will be meeting you here again, and you'll all ride down Whistling Post. At the bottom of Whistling Post, you're going to take a right. You're going to be on Mining Road now. You'll hop on the Mining Road, York Creek Mine Road. You're going to climb York Creek Mine Road, and then you're going to drop back down into the Batanger Logging Road. Cross through that same section that you crossed through before, and you're going to hit the Powder Keg connector. So this is bringing you back to the ski area. And then you're going to climb up Buck 50 just for a little ways, and you'll meet up. When you meet up with Buck 50, you're going to be going downhill, and the rest of the riders will climb up Buck 50 to the top of the ski hill. But for the 30K and 60K riders, you're going to be hopping on Buck 50. You'll ride that down. It connects with Double Dirt Espresso. You'll cross over the ski hill road and hop on it. And then you're going to climb to the finish line, or if you're doing the 60K ride, you're going to still climb up to the ski hill, up to the lodge, and pass through that timing checkpoint, and that'll finish your first lap, and then you'll be ready to head out for your second lap, which will be
we're going to have
repeat of the course.
Right. Yeah. And then we're going to have volunteers set up at the ski hill area. It's going to be clearly marked. So we're going to have people shuttling you in to a sort of a fence chute, which is going to allow you to make sure that you're passed over the timing mat, turn around and complete your second loop. It is a feature of all of our races that you do need to climb at least a portion of the ski hill road. If you're doing multiple laps, you need to keep going up it, which is by design.
For sure. Yeah.
You're also going to have an opportunity to get, you can have a drop bag both at the ski hill. So if you're a 60K racer and you're heading back out for a second lap, you have an opportunity to grab your numbered bag there and get anything that you've stashed away. We'll also have some simple nutrition options there, water, and then all of those options will be available to you at the rest stop also.
Okay.
So that takes us through the 30K route. So, those are the notes for 60K racers. You're going to ride it twice. You get up to the ski hill, make sure that you've crossed your chip timing. You can do any nutrition or wardrobe changes that you need to take care of there, and head back out. Then for 50K racers, we're going to be using the same start point down at the bottom of the ski hill road. So again, when you're starting any of the races, you don't need to go up the ski hill. You might in fact be coming down it if you've been camping there, but we're doing starts there, and then transitions between laps are at the lodge.
All right, let's jump into the 50K mountain bike loop. So I'll zoom in. Again, we're going to be starting at the bottom of the ski hill road at the Bike Skills Park. Lots of day parking there, park at the end of the lot. And then we're going to be heading out. Again, you will have the pace vehicle, the pace truck out in front for the section that you're riding through town. And then the pace vehicle will leave right here when we enter Sartoris Road, the gravel road. And that's when the racing can begin. And for the 50K loop, you're going to be climbing all the way to the summit of Sartoris Road. So we're going to keep climbing. And the summit of Sartoris Road is just right here. So you'll head down the hill just a little bit, and you're going to want to go a little slow here because you're going to take a hairpin to your right and hop on a double track connector. This is all downhill here. A little bit loose, some bigger rocks. It's a double track. So some caution is needed there. And then at the very bottom of the hill, It looks like a right in the map here, but it's kind of just a straight through. It'll be well signed as well as you come down to the bottom of the hill. And then you're on a double track climb out here on the York Creek, Sartorius. This is all fun double track, nice and fast. And then you connect up with the York Creek Mining Junction, and you're going to hang a right. You're going to be climbing up to the start of York with a Fork. You're going to hop on the single track York with a Fork. This is mostly downhill. And then you pop out back onto the York Creek Mining Road, and you'll hit the rest area here down at the York Creek. That is right about halfway through the 50K loop. So right at about 20, I think it's 23 kilometers in. You'll hit the rest area. Climb the road just for a little bit, and then you're gonna hang a left onto Back Door. This is a fun climbing single track, and then you're gonna take a left onto Big Bear. Now, Big Bear, you have the nice big hard climb all the way to the summit of Big Bear here. Anything to mention about that climb there, Peter, from your end?
It never gets easier. You only go faster. It is a tough climb. It's technical and it's very steep. The advantage to that is that it's very easy to stay on course because you're going to be going pretty slow, and you're going to see our expert trail marking all the way up. But it will end. Just keep grinding away. And if you're doing it more than once, if you're doing the 100 kilometer loop, try to put the fact that you need to do it again in the afternoon out of your mind.
And at the very top of the climb, just right about here, there is a little bit of a highly exposed area. So we just want everybody to be aware of that when you're climbing on your bike. You know, you're out of breath, you're at that top section. Just really be mindful of that high exposure area there. Once you get to the top, you're dropping in, and Big Bear gets after it right away. This marker, there is a cliff right here. We do sign it as well, so you're going to come around a corner, it's going to say warning cliff. We've had people hand bikes down as a train on this one. A lot of ride. There are a few lines that are quite rideable, depending on your skill level, of course. But if you do need to hop off your bike and walk it, I mean, sometimes that's the best thing to do to make sure you have a good, safe day, right? If you come up to it and you're like, well, I need to walk that, just walk it. It's going to take you an extra minute, maybe, right?
Maybe a minute to hike your bike down there if you're not familiar with that drop or massively confident in your skill, because as you get to the bottom of it, it's a pretty hard right turn, as memory serves too. So it's multiple challenges kind of stacked on one another. I would say anybody who's going to make it down to the area in advance and has the opportunity to scout some of the route, if you're concerned about your time at all and you'd like to be able to rip or relatively rip through Big Bear, if you got the time, if you could only ride one trail while you're there before the race, this would be the one to go up and check out, even if you hiked it, just so you know what's coming around some of the turns.
Yeah, for sure. And then really fun, fast downhill. There's some loose sections. It's a legit black trail. Keep your wits about you, even when you're tired on your second lap. Make sure you spend a little extra time catching your breath before those kind of things, before you drop into Big Bear here. Then straight through, you connect up with Super Trooper. Super Trooper is really fun. Lots of nice features down lower on the trail. They are all optional except for the cliff, of course. The cliff is kind of mandatory or walk around. The rest all have ride arounds as you get towards the bottom of the trail. Then you're going to hop on the Mine Road connector, so hanging that right there. This is all double track through here. And then through Whistling Post. It's called Whistling Post because when the wind is blowing, which it usually is in the crow's nest, the post there whistles. So that's why it's called Whistling Post. So you're going to hear it as you're coming up to it. You're riding on a lot of old coal deposits that are there, and you're riding up along a fence, and then the Whistling Post marks that turn. Really fun blue trail, fast, flowy. They have somebody that builds the berms there, and they feel like there's cement. So really good berm building through Whistling Post as well. Bottom, hanging a right, and then you're hopping on that York Creek mine climb. So on the York Creek Mine Road, climbing that, and then you're connecting down to the Batenger Logging Road, and then onto the Powder Keg connector here. This section as well, it's important to keep your wits about you for this section. The cows are in there quite heavily, and unfortunately the cows like to eat and step on and poop on our signs. So sometimes these signs in this area can move because of the cow activity. So keep your wits about you. Before you leave in the morning, look at the trail again and okay, just try to remember this area quite well, just in case one of the signs has been turned or moved. Then you're going to be on York Creek, the Powder Keg connector. This is a really fun trail. You feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere while you're on it. And it looks quite small on the map. Don't let that fool you. This is a pretty serious part of the trail. It's where I often find that I'm bonking when I'm doing this ride. And then you're going to connect up with Buck 50. You're going to head up Buck 50. Now, be mindful of other users that are coming down Buck 50 on this day. Make some noise when you're coming around the hairpins, that kind of stuff. There is signage at the top of Buck 50 in a couple places to warn riders that are coming down that there's going to be a lot of traffic going uphill today. But always good to make some noise, make sure people know you're coming up that trail. Then at the top of the ski hill, you're going to hop on Spare Change, fun, fast, black. And then you're going to connect up with Bermagrin, another fun, fast, black. There is a pretty cool feature in here. It does have the ride around, but it's a jump onto a rock and then off of the rock again. That's another one. If you're around in the area and you want to, do that drop during the race day, go have a look at it first. It's pretty committing, but really cool if you get it done.
Yeah.
But it does have a ride around too. So if you're, on race day or on your second lap and you're just like, I am not hitting that again, just ride around it. And then you're going to meet up with the ski hill climb road and climb up the ski hill and cross that finish line or cross that timing mat so that you get your time for your first lap.
Okay, perfect. That takes us through it. So once again, make sure you're properly up to the ski hill. That's where you're going to be able to access your gear, any support that you need, medical. We've had some people come in for repairs and head out for second laps, mechanical support, change of clothing. Of course, we're in the Rocky Mountains. We're probably going to have cool starts and warm afternoons. That's typically what we've seen. So you want to just be prepared for all of those things as you come through that change, and then head out and do it again. So that is all Saturday, August 5th this year. Courses are the same as last year, but we've added the 60K. That's what's new. The 60K is a perfect option if you are into slightly less technical mountain biking, but still looking for an endurance challenge. If you want a mix of endurance and technical challenge, then it's the 50. And if you want the granddaddy, then it's the 100. And if you just want to see what the area is all about and you love mountain biking, or maybe you're racing long on the gravel the day before, check out the 30. It's an awesome, awesome route. And the reason that we added it is because there were so many good trails out there that we hadn't even touched with the race course. And we thought, well, we're here anyways. Why don't we build another race course for people to enjoy? So that takes us to Sunday, August 6th, which is our gravel race. So it is
before we hop on to gravel, I just wanted to mention something that came into my mind about the whole safety thing, medical thing. So our medical team will be at the venue at the Ski Hill Lodge. They have the ability to get out on the course, of course. We are going to have a tail rider as well that's going to be riding the course with a satellite phone. Really important when you're out here. The distances are big. It's hard for us to keep track of everybody. So we want to make sure that you're crossing the timing points. That way we're getting an upload on your chip, so we know kind of vaguely where you are. And also if you've come in for your first lap or not, we know those kind of things. And if you do get injured out on the trail, stay on the trail, talk to other riders, relay that you're hurt and whereabouts you are, and that information will get to either our rest stop, which has a satellite phone, the finish line, which has phones, or our tail rider will hopefully find you and also have a satellite phone on them and be able to relay that, hey, we need some medical support out here. So just talk to other riders if you're hurt and stay on the trail, and ride safe out there.
Exactly. Yeah. Look out for one another. It's a big day in the woods for most people. And we will get to you if you need help as fast as we can with the appropriate support that you need. Okay, so that takes us to our gravel course description, which is in my opinion, pretty darn near perfect 53-kilometer gravel loop that takes us into the backcountry of Crowsnest Pass. So I'll let you walk us through that on Trail Forks, and we can give you a bit of a course description, but it does include 2 really big climbs and a very, very cool feature to begin the race, riding right to the rubble of the Frank Slide.
Okay, so we'll get right into the gravel here. The gravel start is the same as the mountain biking start. So you're going to start at the bottom of the Ski Hill Road where the green dot is here. Right where the Bike Skills Park is. There's lots of great day parking there. Again, so you want to park at the back where the bathrooms and the bike skill park is, because we use the front lane for our starting line. So for the start, you're going to be following our pace vehicle. Our pace vehicle is going to bring you out of Blairmore here and then onto the number 3 just for a short period of time. We're going right and we'll be going into the shoulder, and there's no time that you're ever going to have to cross Highway 3. It's always you're going to be on the right lane. And we're only on it for 1.8 kilometers, and then we're going to pop off and go through this road here. This is the section that goes right through Frank Slide. And then you're going to head through the community of Hillcrest. As you're going through Hillcrest, there's going to be lots of great signage for you through there. Keep you on course. And then just right here at this fork, you're going to hop on the Adnac Road, and it turns to gravel right away, and you're going to start climbing at that point. Nice big climb up the Adnac. You're going to go all the way to the summit of the Adnac, and then up over the summit, steep, fast, loose descent. So really watch your speed here. Keep your bike in control and watch out for cattle as well, can sometimes be on the road. Bottom of the descent, you're going to take a hairpin to the right. You'll be along the creek just for a little bit here, and then you're going to pop off to the right on Sartoris Road. So you'd be at the far end of the Sartoris gravel road. Riding along the road, right at about halfway down the course, so right around 25 kilometers, you can hit our rest area, which is on the left side of the road above the creek here. Now, again, with rest areas, they will be stocked with lots of water and emergency nutrition. Now, what we mean by emergency nutrition is that, we're going to stock it with bars and cookies and pre-packaged kind of things. And a lot of that has to do with wildlife in the area, those kind of things. We don't want fresh fruit out there, those kind of things. Right. And your drop bag is really what you want to put your race nutrition in. And I'll let Peter jump into that a little more about, what you want in your race bag and those kind of things.
Yeah, so you're going to have the opportunity to put bags in two places, both no matter which race distance you're doing. So whether it's gravel or mountain bike, you're going to get something that's going to be taken out by volunteers and trucks out to that rest aid station. And we're going to put your race bib number right on that bag with duct tape when you sign in. So it's going to be easy to find. You can even call out your number as you approach and volunteers can find your bag. And then you can pack whatever you want for nutrition or any types of supplies in both of those locations, whether you only want to carry one tube with you and you want to keep an extra one there in case you need to use it between them. Whatever you want to do and have in that bag is fine. Those bags they're not meant to be disposable. They're all going to get back to the Pass Powder Keg Lodge and Crowsnest Pass at the end of the race. Depending on what that support driver is doing, though, you might need to wait for your bag a little bit. We'll definitely have it there by end of day. And we'll have it there as fast as we can. But if they're out there helping somebody with a mechanical or dealing with any other type of thing that can come up on race day, of which there are many, just be patient with us and getting your bags back. But they will get back to the start finish line. You just might want to roll down into Crowsnest Pass and sit on a patio for a few hours and come back and get it. Or if you're a mountain biker, you can come get it on Sunday as well. But all of those rest bags will be returned to Pass Powder Keg Lodge.
Yeah, and if you're in a hurry and you just want to pack nutrition in your bag, and at the end of the race, doesn't matter to you if you get it back or not, just use, a durable bag that can go out there and you don't need to have it back. That's fine too.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, if you have a Walmart or a Superstore shopping bag that can hold up to a day of transport, and you don't want to get it back, that's completely fine as well.
All right, so after your rest area, you'll continue down this part of the ride, and me and Peter were just discussing how we really enjoy this part of the ride. We find it's one of the nicest parts of the gravel course. And you keep heading down Sartoris, you're on the same road. There are other logging roads. Whenever there's something that looks like it could be where the course will go, there's going to be a sign that says stay straight, turn, whatever needs to happen. And you're also going to find branded Crowsnest Pass 100 flags along the course as well. You'll see one every kilometer at the minimum. And then you're going to start climbing Sartoris Road all the way up to the summit. And then from here down is the descent back into town on the Sartoris Road. Again, really fast descent. Keep your wits about you. There can be cattle in the area as well. All these parts of the courses do have cattle out there, so be mindful of that. And then down Sartoris, hopping back into town, there's going to be great signage again. Look at the sign. Sometimes signs will have stuff on both sides. You want to look at the sign from the direction you're coming in, okay? So because our course overlaps itself in some places, there can be more information on the back of the sign for when you're riding back out versus coming back into town here. So be mindful of that. You're coming back into town, and then you're going to climb up the ski hill road. And if you're a 50K rider, you're going to be hitting your finish line, going over that timing plate, and all of the other distances, you're going to still cross that timing plate, and you'll get a lap time every time you get through there as well. And it helps us keep track of where our riders are in case somebody is not crossing that finish line. We know that there's a chip out there, and then we'll start kind of investigating, okay, where is this person? Do we need to start searching for someone? Those kind of things.
Yeah, chip timing has as much to do with safety as it does to do with accurate timing results. So it's a multi-purpose tool for us. So that takes you through all 3 courses. Of course, if you have questions, reach out to us on the website anytime. You can find all of these maps and resources on the website as well, which is Crowsnest Pass 100. So it's crowsnestpass100.com. They're all also downloadable. We strongly encourage you to take a fully charged device that has these maps with you. Even if you can definitely rely on the course marking. It is that level. It's very, very good course marking. We're proud of it. And we've gotten lots of good feedback about the level of course marking that we've committed to. But there's nothing like having a map in your pocket too. So an incredibly handy resource for you, and it's all there to download. And we're happy to field questions anytime. But we hope you found this very, very valuable as you prepare for Crowsnest Pass 100.
Yeah, and just that note about the course marking again, the cattle do sometimes step on the signs. They sometimes take a chunk, bite them and move them. So it is really good to, have that course marked in your phone as well, so that you can follow along, kind of have it in your brain. So if you see a sign that looks like it's been trampled by cattle, you have a good idea of which direction you're going to be going in.
Yeah, exactly. Study your maps before you head out and leave yourself any notes that you might find valuable. And we'll see you all in Crowsnest Pass in August.